Department of the Liberia Broadcasting System Ipinzo. Greeting and welcome to Newsline, a full hour of the most captivating news events making news in Liberia and the rest of the world. Today is Thursday, July 18, 2024. My name is Alpha Rogers. Top stories tonight: President Joseph Boyka urges Liberians to invest in the local economy to propel national growth and development.
Making sure that we invest in the local economy.
National Elections Commission launches gender equality and social inclusion policy.
The Board of Commissioners and staff extend our thanks and appreciation to all those who have contributed in so many different ways to the development of the gender policy.
Liberia Broadcasting System Director General Eugene Fagon describes as appalling the current state of the system substation in Bomi County.
It's far worse than an environment. The people here live in deplorable conditions. Our technicians, we have video footages of the way they are living. We have video footages of the site itself.
And in Kenya, police ban protests in the center of the capital Nairobi and surrounding areas with immediate effect. Details of these interesting stories, Newsline Sports, the news in simple Liberian English plus more. All coming up on the program tonight. First, we go to Fabian Kuya to give us the news bulletin.
President Joseph Boyka has admonished Liberians to invest in local economy to propel national growth and development. The president believes doing so will not only bring development, but improve the lives of citizens and attract donor support. According to the Liberian leader, citizens must begin to take ownership of projects intended to transform the country. President Boyka spoke Thursday at the first National Steering Committee meeting on the arrest agenda for inclusive development in Congo Town. The meeting was intended to fast-track government's development plans and implementation and strategize ways to garner support for its effective operations. At the same time, President Boyka has donated several assorted materials to patients at the J.F. Kennedy Hospital. The items include baby tops, buckets, and other basic items for infants. Speaking briefly after the donation, the Liberian leader underscored the crucial role the health sector plays in driving national growth.
We've gone around, we looked, we have seen, we listened to them. It's committed us more to making sure that JFK becomes that hospital for our people.
President Boyka said the well-being of the citizens remains paramount to having a safer community and society. He pledged government's support to revamping the health system to meet international standards. As part of the donation, the president toured major facilities of the hospital, promising massive reforms. The National Elections Commission has officially launched its gender equality and social inclusion policy. The policy seeks to promote gender equality, empower women's political participation, and safeguarding the rights of marginalized groups in the electoral process of Liberia. Speaking Thursday in Monrovia at the launch, NEC chairperson Davietta Brown-Lassanan said the commission will maintain an environment where all eligible Liberians can participate in the country's activities.
And the rest of our donors to review this relationship now between the UN and the National Elections Commission, and perhaps give some consideration to providing direct funding to the National Elections Commission. The Board of Commissioners and staff extend our thanks and appreciation to all those who have contributed in so many different ways to the development of the gender policy.
Madam Brown-Lassana also thanked other partners, mainly UN Women, for fully supporting NEC in developing a policy up to the official launch. Speaking earlier, NEC Commissioner with Oversight on Gender, Josephine Gay, said the policy framework will create an inclusive and accessible electoral management system for women and persons with disabilities. Liberia Telecommunications Authority has introduced two new regulations to enhance and make the telecommunications sector vibrant. The two new regulations are numbering resources and wholesale access to telecommunication networks for value added services. LTA Director of Strategy Bleedy Elliott says the new regulations will foster transparency in the telecommunications sector.
So what are the key points in this numbering regulations? All these national numbering resources, these short codes, will revert to LTA control when these regulations take effect.
Speaking Thursday in Congo Town at a day-long engagement with service providers, Mr. Bleedy hailed network service providers for their continued support and cooperation with the LTA. The one-day consultative engagement was attended by representatives from Lone Star Cell MTN, Orange Liberia, and Liptelco and TIPME, among others. Speaking earlier, Liberia Telecommunications Authority Acting Chairman Abdullah Kamara vowed to make the entity viable to meet current day reality. Mr. Kamara said plans are on the way to attract key actors to the telecommunications sector for quality service delivery in the country. The LTA acting chairman spoke Thursday in Congo Town when he briefed network service providers on the entity's new regulations.
We want to ensure that all players, including the MNOs themselves, are operating fairly so that we have a vibrant market, so that we have more innovation. I can assure you that once this vast regulation is enforced, trust me, you'll see more activities and more innovation.
Mr. Kamara said the instrument will be forwarded to the Board of Directors of the Liberia Telecommunications Authority soon for approval. The Director General of the Liberia Broadcasting System has expressed disappointment over the deplorable conditions of LBS substation staffers in Bomi County. Director General Eugene Fagon said it is unacceptable to see the system's substation dilapidated, assuring that he will work along with other service providers to improve the facility under his administration. He named Lone Star Cell MTN Orange as some of the entities that are currently operating on the LBS tower in Tottenburg.
It's far worse than an abandonment. The people here live in deplorable condition. Our technicians, we have video footages of the way they are living. We have video footages of the site itself. This is unacceptable. I wish you were here to see it. Honestly, I'm depressed. I am really, really depressed.
The LBS director also promised to improve the welfare of staffers at the Tottenburg substation to enhance efficiency and productivity. He called on companies operating the system's tower to live up to the terms of agreement or risk removal of the institutions from the tower. Renowned human rights lawyer Councillor Rufus Garnett has called for concerted efforts to combat sexual gender-based violence in Liberia. Councillor Garnett wants citizens, especially policy makers and public figures, to take practical approach steps in addressing the menace. He said though Liberia is making significant progress in the fight against sexual gender-based violence, more needs to be done. The Liberian human rights lawyer believes doing so will go a long way, promoting human rights and put the country on par with other nations in the sub-region. Councillor Garner spoke recently when he served as guest speaker at the graduation ceremony of Rural Mission for Christ Academy in Pinsville. The annual Golden Image Awards is expected to take place this Thursday at the Monrovia City Hall. This year marked the 14th edition of the awards, and it will officially kickstart a series of national programs in commemoration of Liberia's 177th Independence Day on July 26. President Joseph Boyka is expected to serve as the convener of the Golden Image Awards, a task performed historically by the sitting president since its maiden edition in 2011. Outstanding individuals drawn from a pool of local and international nominees are expected to be honored for their selfless contribution to humanity. According to the founder and chief event planner Julie Andy, guests from the Middle East, Europe, the United States, Barbados, and Africa are gracing tonight's program. The first National Steering Committee meeting under the arrest agenda for inclusive development is taking place in Congo Town. The meeting is intended to fast-track implementation of government's development plans, and strategize ways to garner support for effective operations. According to Acting Finance Minister Anthony Myers, the gathering is to review and consolidate efforts in supporting the AID. Minister Myers said the arrest agenda, which comprises policy sector development plan and the 15 counties development programs, would ensure that every citizen is included in the government's development plan. The 5-year strategic development plan that runs from 2025 to 2029 is being implemented by the Ministries of Finance and Internal Affairs. The Commerce Ministry has released new regulations on the importation of rice in Liberia. The ministry says the new rice regulations will take immediate effect on August 1 this year as part of government strategy initiative to diversify the commercial rice market and enhance a competitive business environment. A Commerce Ministry release is also quoted as saying the rice importation policy guidelines are contingent on the critical need of providing accessible and affordable quality of the commodity on the Liberian market. The regulations also mandate current and incoming rice importers to be duly registered, tax compliant, and adhere to labor and immigration laws, obtain import permit declaration compliance, and a secure bank guarantee. Other regulations include a minimum storage accommodation facility of 5,000 metric tons of rice, supply of quality standards, and details pricing structure of various grades of rice to be imported. And a high-level Mana River Conference is expected to be held in Liberia shortly. The 2-day conference will be attended by Sierra Leone, Guinea, Ivory Coast, and host Liberia. Assistant Foreign Minister for Public Affairs, Sewagba, said the conference will take place from July 21 to July 22 at the Ellen Jones in Turleaf Ministerial Complex in Congo Town. Minister Gba said the high-level meeting will bring together leaders of the MRU to develop strategies aimed at improving the well-being and living standards for citizens of the region.
Fabian Kuya and the news bulletin on Newsline tonight. She returns a little later. That's when you listen to the international news. This is Newsline on State Radio. One of the big stories we're following tonight. Liberia Broadcasting System Director General Eugen Fagon describes as appalling the current state of the system substation in Bowman County.